Hey guys, it's Oak. I am here today with a little bit of a different video. This time I'm going to go over some add-ons that I use pretty much on a daily basis. Things that I feel give a quality of life improvement to the game. So it's a little different. I'm going to do like a top 10 style, but I will tell you that none of these are really in order of preference because I use them all. So here we go. So first of all, this is one that I talked about in my UI video very briefly, but it's the XIV data bar continued. This is the bar that I have going across the bottom of my screen. Now I find this information very helpful all the time because it shows me a lot of things that I wouldn't think much about normally. But it'll show me my professions, it'll tell me what skill level I am in each profession. If you click on the button, it'll open your profession tab. So like that's alchemy, here's engineering. If you click on your clock, it'll bring up the calendar. But one of the things I use most of all is the specialization. So the specialization, if you mouse over to tell you, of course, what specialization you are, but it'll also tell you your current loot spec. You can right click on that and you can change your loot specialization that easy. But even better is if you left click on it, you can actually change your specialization to something else. Like right now I'm Guardian, I could change the balance just like that. I don't play balance, but if I did, it'd be that easy to switch over to it. This is your basic micro menu, so it has your chat emotes, your guild list, your friends list, your character pane, spellbook, your talents, achievements, map, quests, looking for group, your adventure guide, PvP, your pet collections and appearances, open the shop, and it opened customer support as well. Tell you your durability. It'll show you your frames per second, your latency, how much gold you have. If you mouse over that, you can see how much gold you have on the account or on the server. Some of the things here is the travel module. If you have Mythic Plus portals, you can access them all right here. Like if I wanted to go to Grimrail Depot, I could just click on it. There you go. But who wants to go there? I do not. Your Dalaran Hearthstone, you can actually change this one by right-clicking it, and you can set it to be either Dalaran Hearthstone, your Garrison Hearthstone, or because I'm a druid, I could change it to the Dream Grove. So it would make me dreamwalk to the Dream Grove. And then finally your regular Hearthstone. One of the cool things about the regular Hearthstone is it does a sort of hearth roulette in a sense, whereas every time you click on it, it'll use a different hearth toy. So every time it'll use a different hearth toy. It's just quite nice because who wants to be digging through their toy box for all their hearth toys all the time? This will randomize it for you. But that is XIV data bar. It does a bunch of things. It does a bunch of things well, and I'm glad that they keep it up to date. It's so up to date that the Mythic Plus portals portion was a recommendation that I made to the add-on author, and they actually implemented, so I was very happy to see that. Next add-on I want to talk about is LiteMount. LiteMount is one that I started to use when my mount collection started to grow. I'm very indecisive. I can never stick with one particular mount, and I wanted something that would randomize my mount choice. So LiteMount will do that. So the way it works is if you go to your options, and you go to add-ons, and you go to LiteMount, you can choose your mounts, and you can actually set priorities for different mounts. So you can say, let's say you want the Acid Belcher to happen more often than others. You can up its priority. Personally, I like it to be completely random, so I like to set everything pretty much at 1. It'll choose your mount depending on your environment. If it's someplace that you can only do a ground mount, it'll of course just use a ground mount. If you're in a flying zone or a skywriting zone, it'll choose one of those mounts. So you can hotkey or bind this to a key in the regular Blizzard key bindings. So you go to options, key bindings, and then down to LiteMount. And you can see that I have it set to the tilde key. So every time I hit the tilde key, it'll mount a different mount. And as I'm mounting all these different mounts, it'll bring me to the next add-on that I want to show. This is one that I actually saw in a different video, but I liked it and installed it, and I think it's quite nice. And it's called Glider. Basically, it replaces Blizzard's skywriting UI with this little circle, this kind of pie. This pie is set with your regular in-game edit mode options. So you go to edit mode and you can click on it, and it doesn't have a whole lot of options, but you can change how big it is. You can change what color it is, like I've chosen the class color, but you can make it whatever color you want. It lets you change where the speed goes, so when you're flying it'll tell you how fast you're going. You can have the text on the top, right, left, or bottom. I have it on the top, so when I'm flying, and I can do this in my flight form, you can see that it shows the speed on the top. Now the circle around the circle is basically my momentum. So if it's green, it means that I'm building the vigor. Sorry, I forgot what it was called for a second. So when it turns red, I'm no longer building vigor, and it means that I need to change my direction to descend a little bit to start building vigor again. So. But it's very well animated. I've used a lot of Zygors in the past that do similar things, but this being an add-on, it just seems to work better. But yeah, that's Glider. So the next one I started using because I wanted to search through a vendor, and I was having trouble finding any sort of add-on that would let me search. So I found this one. It's called Compact Vendor, and it changes your vendor UI to be in a long list like this, but it also lets you search, and you can search by any of these things that it shows in the search box. So you can search by item level, you can search by armor type, you can search by bind on pickup or bind on equip. You can change it to only show specific classes. So it'll be all specializations like this. There's this little box up here that you can change different options as well. This helped with Remix when I was trying to pick up everything in Remix, because then I could search it by the class that I am or by other classes. If you're on a vendor that sells armor, it'll tell whether or not you collected that armor. And you can choose to hide things that you haven't collected. So let's say in this vendor that I only wanted to show containers. So if I uncheck all of that, it's only going to show me containers. So if I only wanted to see consumables, I could do this, you know, so on and so forth. If I just want to trade skill items, there you go. If I want to show everything, just show it all. You can pick up stack amounts by clicking this little option here. You can change the number by how much you want. So let's say that, I'm not going to buy a bunch of these, but let's say you wanted 10 4-wind soju. Boom, you got 10 4-wind sojus. I'm selling those right back because who needs those? But yeah, that is Compact Vendor. I think it's a great add-on. I've been using it for a while now. So as I was in the vendor UI, I also opened up my bags, and bags is something that I used to be really into using Addy bags. Addy bags changed not so long ago to better bags. I haven't quite been able to get into better bags, so I did see this add-on when the War Within beta came out, and it was one of the few that would actually work with the beta. It's called Baganator. So I started using Baganator with the beta, and I've gotten quite used to it and quite fond of it. It's similar to Addy bags, whereas it shows your bags as one big bag, but it sorts it out depending on categories. So like here, you can see I have my gear sets, I have my BOE gear sorted out, and then just regular gear sorted out. And you can go into the options and you can arrange the categories however you like. This is the way that I have it set up. I used quasis set up at first, but I've made a few categories myself, like the Warbound category. And I think I put the BOE one there as well, just so I could see some different things, whether I have Warbound gear or whatnot. But this sorts things out. It lets you see your bank from anywhere. It lets you see your Warband bank from anywhere. Obviously, you can't move stuff from it from anywhere, but at least you can see what you have in there. You can also see all your characters. So like I'm on Oakendrust right now. If I wanted to go to Oakenforged, which is my paladin, I could see what Oakenforged has in his bags. So this is really handy. I don't often look at my other characters because along with Baganator, one of its dependencies is this thing called Syndicator. And what Syndicator does is Syndicator basically powers the search. So search, you can do all sorts of things, and if you click on the little help button, it'll tell you what you can search. But it's real smart, and it goes into a whole wall of text on the different ways that you can search for things. But what Syndicator also does is if you log around to all of your different characters, it then adds something to your tooltip that you can see what characters have what. So you can see the aerated mana potions, that I have a total of 1,261 aerated mana potions across my characters, and it'll show you which characters have them. It'll only show the first few lines because my account is full, so I wouldn't want to see every single line. But yeah, it's very helpful with this, and that's Syndicator. Now, while we're on Baganator's add-on, the developer Baganator is somebody by the name of PlusMouse. PlusMouse makes Baganator, he makes Syndicator, he also makes an add-on called Journalator. So what Journalator does is it will track your sales at your auction. It'll track your money going in and out. It tells me that I apparently gained 131,000 gold in the last month. So it tells how that different gold came in. It shows you crafting orders, tells you what you've sold to vendors, what you've made from questing, what you've made from looting, what you've gotten from your mailbox. Apparently I've gotten nothing. What you've traded with other players, all sorts of different things like that. So this is another add-on from PlusMouse. I think it's quite nice. PlusMouse is also one of the developers on Auctionator. Auctionator is a very popular auctioning add-on. What it does is it will scan the auction house, and it will include auction house info in your tooltips. So right now it's scanning. Should only take like a minute. But it adds all of these tabs down here, such as the selling and the shopping tabs. One of the things that I like about it is, let's say you're an alchemist and you wanted to make Dracathist. Very popular item back in Dragonflight, but what this will do is it'll allow you to actually open up your trade skill bag or your trade skill menu, and you can click search, and it will search for those items that it takes to make it, as well as the item itself. Not only that, it'll also tell you the profit from creating this. So I haven't started my professions on this character in the War Within yet, so his alchemy is pretty limited, but this is very handy. If you were to track your recipe, and you'd have your recipe up here, you can actually go into the auction house and just click search from there, and it'll search for what it takes to make that way. So if you have some favorites, you can add them to your objective list, and you can search the auction house with that. It lets you sell your items pretty easily, so it'll show them in a nice little menu like this. You can just click it, and it will scan the auction house for similar things like basically beef. It'll tell you how many are available, what it's selling for, what the total price is. Then you just click post and you sell it. It'll move on to the next thing you list. So it's a very nice auctioning tool. But one of the things that PlusMouse added to Auctionator is Collectionator. Now Collectionator, what it'll do is it'll scan the auction house, and then it will compare different things in the auction house to your collections. So such as your transmogs, your pets, your toys, your mounts, what recipes you have on your character. So I'm going to skip ahead to when the scan is complete and show you what it's done. But yeah, I think it's very handy with finding different transmogs that you may not have. Alright, and my scan is complete. So if I click on Tmogs, it will show what transmogs are on the auction house that I don't have. It starts with the lowest price, and you can see here that I did learn this from another item. So what I can do is I can check mark show only unique appearances and then refresh, and then it'll show things that I haven't collected at all. So like hand stitch linen breeches, they're gold 73. If I want to just go straight down the list, I can just click start purchasing and buy item. It'll go to the next thing, start purchasing, buy item, and you'll know that these are things that I have not collected. So it'll just go straight down the list and buy things. So it's a great way to kind of flesh out your transmog collection. It'll do the same thing with pets. I've not been that much of a pet collector. I do have pets, obviously. I've been playing the game for close to as long as it's been out. So I have a lot of pets, but these are ones that, of course, I don't have. So, it'll let you do the same thing here. Is you can just click start purchasing, and it'll start purchasing them down the list. Same thing for toys. Like a dented can. Yeah, it looks like that's a bobber. I didn't even know about this, but you can just buy a dented can. So with mounts, once again, I wouldn't call myself a mount collector, but I do have a lot of mounts. I'm not going to drop 21,000 gold on the auction house for a video, but it's there if I wanted to. And then same thing for recipes. So it'll show recipes that I haven't learned. But this right now is showing recipes for all the different expansions. But I'm sure that there are options to just limit it to certain expansions. But yeah, so that's Collectionator.
My directive has been
all right. Now the next one, I've touched on this one. It's pretty much limited to one thing, and that's that it requires you to have ElvUI as a Yuyuli. But I've had a lot of questions from my other videos about the entering and exiting combat symbol in the middle of my screen. So the entering exiting combat symbol is from an add-on called WindTools. WindTools is a plugin for the ElvUI add-on. So I'll leave combat and get right back in combat. Let me see if I can get far enough away so this will stop. Alright, but if you go into ElvUI and then you go down to WindTools, this is the combat alert. So it'll just basically do just that. It'll tell you when you're entering combat and when you're leaving combat. I don't know why I like this. I should know when I'm in combat and when I'm out of combat. I do know when I'm in combat and when I'm out of combat, but it's one of the many things that WindTools will do for me. Some of the other things WindTools will do, it'll announce like interrupts and such. Like this is my interrupt announcement. I've been using this for a long time. I custom made it so it'll say, I stopped that fool, whatever your target's name is, from casting whatever the spell is. You can make it announce dispels, you can make it announce taunts, you can make it announce other players' taunts, you can make it announce combat reses. It'll tell when somebody in your group has like put down an atomic recalibrator or a mailbox, all sorts of different things. When there's a conjure refreshments or a soul well put down, it'll tell when threats transferred if you want to use that module. There are lots and lots of things that this will do for you. Some of the things too, it'll get rid of your loot panels, so it'll make it so you can loot faster. So it'll do a lot of things. I highly recommend this add-on if you use ElvUI. I have a hard time playing without WindTools. It's so many little things that it just adds. It's what makes my objective frame looks like this. So that's just another add-on that I highly recommend. But I think that makes 10. I'm not entirely sure because I've not done one of these, tens lists before. But if it's not, let me know down in the comments below. But if you like the video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. If you want to be alerted to my next video, hit the notification bell. And of course, always comment down below. But once again, thank you very much for watching. This is Oak, and have a great day.